Good day everyone, welcome to channel AMAC, your insight to the Australian visa system. My name is Carl Young, Registered Migration Agent. This channel is all about providing you all the most updated and accurate information about Australian visas. Now today, I'd like to take this opportunity and this a bit of time to go through a little bit about student visas. Well, it's a very generic visa applications, but there has been a lot of enormous refusals that we have foreseen for the last years, where a lot of applicants generally just think it's a very simple visa application. It is a very simple visa application, but then they take it too lightly and then ended up with a lot of refusals and a lot of struggles and end up in the appeal court and go through a lot of legal fees and all that. So today I'd like to get all the viewers to actually know what's the insight of all student visa applications. So what I will do is take you into one item, one clause at a time, and go through every single stuff. So make sure that the next application or whoever that you seek to help or assist with, they will have a successful visa application. All right, let's jump into the actual visa system right now. So now this again is the legend.com. It's the actual library database that all the migration agents is required to subscribe with. So today we'll take you through the subclass 500, which is a student visas, where all the international students, no matter where you're coming from, you are required to lodge and apply for a student visa if you choose to study in Australia, whatever the institution, starting from school, TAFE, colleges, institutions, all the way up to bachelor, postgrads, master, PhDs. Okay, so 500.111 basically spells out all the definitions. So what does higher education course mean? It means diploma, advanced diploma, associate degree, bachelor, graduate certificate, graduate diploma, bachelor honors degree, master degree, and master degree extended, and postgraduate research course, meaning that it's a master degree with research, or doctoral degree, which is a PhD. So what are the differences between master degree research and master degree coursework? That's commonly a lot of people had asked me and questioned in regards. So a quick explanations to differentiate the two is that the master coursework generally it's just coursework. There's no require of researchers, no thesis required to be written, and research master degree, obviously you are going into some sort of semi PhD level, so you will be a team possibly to research some sort of projects together, and if you are seeking to become a PhD in the future, it's mandatory that you have gone through a master degree research. Okay, so you cannot just go through master degree coursework and jump straight into PhD. No university is likely to accept that unless you have shown a very extensive work experiences and projects involved in particular field of industry or discipline. Okay, so let's go down. Obviously, primary criteria, you have to be enrolled. There's a course to be studied, of course, and there's a differentiation between general applicant and applicant who are foreign affairs students or defense students. So that's these subclass C and D. It's basically for those international students arranged by diplomatic officers. So they are coming through two nations agreements, and there's a possible of some people are coming through this way, but generally through my 15 years of practice, I have never received any application like this, but I'm pretty sure some of you out there may have it. So when you go into the visa application, there is a tick in the first page, so it will be asked whether or not you are AUS-8. Then that's basically asking that AUS-8 students, and you have to tick yes, and then obviously more detail to be inserted, and a certain boxes will pops out, and then you need to require to fill in the text boxes, and also by providing supporting evidences in that. Okay, now 500.212. This is very important, where a lot of people, a lot of general applications get failed here because they don't take much of intention to complete it, and complete it too lightly, or explain it your histories too brief. So it's a clause where the law and the department assess your genuine status of applying as a student visa holders. So by plain English, it basically says, it basically assesses whether or not you are a real student. You're coming to Australia to study, or you're coming here to do elsewhere. Okay, do whatever it is. You know, some people come here to actually work. They want to use a student visa, come here to work, which is wrong. You're not supposed to have this visa. So and there's a balance of tests in this area here. So here they basically listed out of what the test is all about. So first of all, they need to know that you're here temporarily. You're not here permanently. That's pretty obvious. You can't permanently study. So they want to know your circumstances back home. Okay, so that means all your financial background, country, area of country you're coming from. At the moment, the Department of Immigration, combining all the diplomatic information around the world, they could actually depict the level of genuineness of particular person coming out from particular areas. So if you are from particular area, you may be affected by previous or past records of all the applicants in that area, or the agents who apply, possible false information from that area, and causing your application to be in a higher level of assessments. By means it's harder for you. Okay, so you need to describe where you're coming from, what sort of financial background you have, meaning providing your bank statements, your parents' bank statement, what they do, what they work, what sort of employment they were in, and obviously your education background. So what have you studied, what have you achieved? Obviously the higher achievement the applicant has, a better rate of success. So, and obviously you will be able to enroll into a better university and a higher level of degree to be enrolled in. So the less level to be assessed under your application. So all that history required to be detailedly written into and submitted in your application. So you can't just lightly say, look, I've been offered for a diploma and I'm age of 42. I'd like to come and achieve this diploma and complete this diploma. Look, if you do that, you easily get rejected. Okay, and secondly, they will check your immigration history. So they will check whether or not you have been into Australia, how many times, and what sort of visa, and have you complied with all these visa requirement or conditions. So if you have been refused, rejected previously, obviously this will affect your student visa straight away. So my general practice, I will ask all the applicants to declare all the histories. So because the only way I can help them out is I know fully 100% of what you have done and what you have caused in your previous past and all your past records. So then I can figure out how we could further achieve and adding more stuff into the supporting evidences to increase the success rate. Okay, and number 3, if you're a minor, Obviously, you need a legal guardian. Legal guardian required to be above certain age. Different state had a different state law, but I believe will be more than about 21 years of age. Obviously, a parent, that's no issue there. And legal guardian has to sign stuff with the school. Generally, this part has to be agreed by the actual school sector or the school principal or the management team in the school, because if they don't accept it, they won't not even issue you the enrollment or certificate of enrollment. You will not be able to submit your visa applications. And number 4, any other relevant matter. So it really is all about why you wanted to come to Australia to study. So generally what we will assist our client to do is that we'll ask them what sort of background they are in or they have achieved, and why do they choose to study this major. For instance, sometimes people graduate from whatever the courses or university or major, and then they have stayed a couple of years in the workforce working for something else, and they suddenly found their actual true hobby or true love of what they really wanted to do, and it's dramatically different than what they have studied before. So then they chose to study elsewhere to achieve that. Just for instance, so I've been seeing people that they were an engineer, but they sick of being engineer and really love food. They love to create gourmet, high class, fine dining food, and then they have provide me certain records of their hobbies, photos and things. Obviously, I'll put that into submissions, and then I allow them, assist them to actually lodge a visa application with a TAFE or a chef commercial cookery course, and got approved. Obviously, those kind of client, they are more than towards choosing something very high advanced courses for commercial cookeries. So something like that you're required to be to mention to at least allow Department of Immigration to know why you are studying this. And give you another example. I had another client who were previously accountants, and she got sick of dealing with numbers and taxes, but during her work as an accountant, she had bumped into architectural works where she sparked that interest, and she doesn't she doesn't want to become an architect as a designer straight away, but that she's very interested about draftings. So then I put all these submissions plus all her backgrounds and the artworks or stuff that she had researched. I put that all into submissions. Within 2 days, she got granted for a course of diploma of draftsperson in Queensland TAFE. So that's just another case. So obviously the submission will be bulky. It's not a general visa application anymore, because general visa application will be generally talking about someone studying high school, graduated, and moving on to a high degree to get a bachelor. So that's a general visa application. So sometimes a visa application like this requires a lot more thinking and a lot more technical stuff to be involved. So that's how we get this through. Okay, now moving down here, this is talking about English language level, but nowadays it's more required for the actual education institution or providers to provide whatever the English level that they require, as long as the provider is happy about it. Generally, they will do some internal tests, or else they will require an external test. For example, IELTS test, TOEFL, Cambridge, what else? PTE. Okay, as long as you pass whatever the certain level they require to as a prerequisite to enter into that course, and obviously you will require to show that. So either the institution will have that attached in the application attached to the under COE, where it's an internal system, what they call PRISM, PRISM. Then Department of Immigration will see, or Additionally, what we generally do is we will have that result, for example, IELTS result or whatever the result, we will attach into our applications. Or the other way is show that you have been certain years of studying full-time in English. For example, some people had attended international school overseas where they have studied high school all through. It was all taught in fully English, and then you require to show that. Generally, the school principal will write a statement plus the certificates. That will be it. Now, moving on to, I think this is the final one, because all the other ones check on health and things. Now, the final one is all about funds. Do you have sufficient funds? So, without going through all these bulky clauses, you see this purple mark here where I have actually clicked it. It's actually going to this link here. So the reason they do that is because if you've been in Australia long enough, they love to change immigration law all the time. It's the most frequent changed piece of law and legislation in this nation. So what they do is they create this thing I call legislative instrument where it's not required. It's difficult to go through parliament, whether you don't have to sit too much. So internally, minister can determine what sort of rate they wanted to put. So what does this piece of legislation says? You see this is 2018 January 8th where David Wilden, the Senior Executive Service, has actually amended. So they generally amended every year. So we haven't seen anything in 2019. So I suspect they are not going to do anything for this year, because what they have done is they increased the sufficient fund to be shown to, you see the highlighted part, maybe I need to magnify it a little bit bigger. Here we go, it's big enough. $20,290. So now what does that mean? So if you are to apply for student visa, you're required to show at least you can survive and live. You have enough fund to live for at least 12 months. Now 12 months to live in Australia, the department had determined it will cost at least $20,290. So at your bank statement, you're required to show that you have that kind of fund in your visa application. So if you don't have that, it's more than likely they will refuse your visa. Okay, now it doesn't have to be your bank. It can be your parents or relative, as long as they have shown they have additional statements written that they are happy to support you. But obviously there's a more of a technical stuff there involved. So anyway, that's all for student visa today. Now, if you do have a further question, you're more than welcome to email me, leave me a message. And about this channel, we're all about providing you all the most accurate and updated visa information of Australia. So if you do like our channel, make sure you subscribe to our channel, or you can go to our Facebook and click like. Thank you very much.